Hey, let's last segment we're talking about. We're here with Miller Thomas. I'm your pal Sully. I'm still negative. Thank you so much, everyone, for some of the nice notes that I got via Twitter and then Instagram. And thank you, everyone, for social distancing for me today. The Angels in early June were a playoff team. In the middle of May, they were 11 games over 500. Over 500. Yeah. And here we are 2 months later. They're barely a 400 team. And we went from, oh my God, Joe Maddon's magic. They've got the no-hitter early in the year. Everything's working great. Finally, we're gonna have an October with Trout and Ohtani. To not only are they not playoff teams, I believe, the rumors are they're going to be looking at maybe trading Ohtani. I think we've gone beyond the maybe part. They have to trade Ohtani before August.
For
this reason. What?
Tell me why.
I'll tell you why. Ohtani is going to leave after next year. He can be a free agent after next year. Why would he stay? He's an incredibly valuable player, an incredibly valuable piece to a good team where he's an excellent hitter and an excellent pitcher. The Angels are a team in a desperate need for a rebuild. Sorry, everyone, they are. This is a terrible team. This team stinks with a capital stinks. And if they let Ohtani walk, that's a disaster. Yes, it's a disaster to have Ohtani traded now to the season ticket holders, but guess what's even worse? Watching him walk away in a couple of years and getting nothing in return. Now, a few years ago, Baltimore had a great trade chip in Manny Machado, an MVP candidate in his prime. And instead of trading him in the 2017 season, when the team that could have acquired him would have had a season and a half of control, and therefore they'd be able to get a better haul for him, they waited until the middle of the 2018 season when whoever they traded for would only get half a season with him. And the haul they got back for him was lacking. Mm-hmm. And they whiffed. And right now, if you trade Ohtani, you get an all-star caliber pitcher and an all-star caliber hitter for the pennant stretch of this year and all of next year. He has no loyalty to this team like Mike Trout does, as he was brought up to the system. Mike Trout wants to be the greatest Angel of all time. Newsflash, he already is. And he wants to, if he wants to win a title, he wants to be the person to deliver it to Anaheim. All right? Ohtani doesn't have that connection. Ohtani's, I'm doing it in New York, I'm doing it in Chicago, I'm doing it in San Francisco. I don't care. And so the Angels have to trade him and get at least two significant pieces to put in their rebuild. That by the time they're a playoff team, say, hey, look at that pitcher and that starting second baseman or who they got in the Ohtani trade or whatever. Because if they wait, he'll either walk and they'll get nothing or they'll get a smaller package. But either way, the Angels are in a position right now because they didn't put a mediocre team around Trout and Ohtani. This is the price you have to pay. You don't get to keep them.
Well,
and so, boom.
If you think he's going to walk in free agency, then you trade him earlier because, like you said, you'll get the better package. If you think you're not going to pay Ohtani, then for the same reasons, you trade him earlier. But is it guaranteed he's going to leave in free agency? Because I'm not too sure that is possible. You say he doesn't have the connection like Mike Trout. Well, I believe anybody can have a connection to any city if you're going to offer them the bag. And Shohei Ohtani, once he's on the open market, if the Angels are willing to go up to $500 million over an 8-year period, I don't think Ohtani cares about the winning part or anything, because guess what? Most dudes in baseball do not care. Most dudes in baseball just go to where the bag is. We saw it with Carlos Correa. Just go to Minnesota. We saw it with Eric Hosmer years ago when he went to the Padres. Before before they were even good. Baseball players do not care about market size. They do not care about winning. Most of that stuff does not matter. They care about where am I going to get my financial security? Who's going to give me the most amount of years for the most amount of money? I believe that's the bottom line when it comes to baseball contracts. And so the Angels are willing to pony up 8 to 10 years of maybe $500 million for Ohtani. He'll spend the next 8 years withering away in Los Angeles and keep not making the postseason. I don't think he would really care that much. I mean, he probably would care, but I don't think he would leave the Angels for a better opportunity if the Angels are willing to pay him more money than anybody else. So at the end of the day, Angels, if you want to keep Ohtani, you're going to have to pony up the bag. Otherwise, if you don't want to pay him or you think he's actually going to leave in free agency, if he is that kind of guy, because I respect Ohtani even more if he is that kind of guy. If he's like, hey, I don't want your money, Angels. You guys suck. I've seen what Mike Trout has done for you guys. He's been the best player of all time, basically, through the first 10 years of his career. And he wants to re-sign with you guys for the next 10 years. And it's led to nothing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to take a pay cut and go somewhere else. I would respect that so much from Ohtani, but I've never seen a baseball player do it. So I don't think Ohtani is going to be the first.
I think if he's going to get paid no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is. I think if the Angels are in a rebuild, to shove like $2 billion onto two players, we've seen that doesn't work.
No.
You need to put some of the talent around the board. And I think that his value, now maybe if the Angels want to pony up that money, maybe you see if he hits free agency, you bring him back. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, they need to rebuild this team, and they have an unbelievable trade chip. And the value of this trade chip could go down if they wait.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to look at like the Angels attendance rankings to see if I could even make an argument that he keeps them high in attendance, but I can't even find the Angels right now.
The Angels are flush with money. It's not a money thing with the Angels. It's a talent thing. And part of me thinks it's an organizational thing. They've had Mike Trout there. Mike Trout broke in during Obama's first term. Okay.
Okay.
All right. He's not a rookie. He's been around a bit. They've had time to build a team around him, and they haven't. And so now they have to.
Well, yeah, I talked about some of this with Javi on a podcast recently. Like they've like tried to go out there and spend money. It just all the players that they choose to spend money on just have been big whiffs. When you go back to the Albert Pujolses and the Josh Hamiltons and the CJ Wilsons, or even if you look recently to the Anthony Rendones of the world, who's going to miss back-to-back seasons with injuries, and he's getting paid like $35 million a year. Like Anthony Rendone's on one of the biggest contracts in baseball, and that looks like a complete bust right now. We're on the front half of that contract. Wait till we get to the back half of that deal. So right now it's like, yeah, the Angels haven't been able to build a team, but they've at least tried to spend money. They just haven't been doing it on position players when they need some more pitchers than that.
Pitching.
Yeah.
And they've had a decade to develop pitching.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be signing free agents. You can, that draft that just happened, you could actually draft players and build a team.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about dumping Shohei Ohtani.
Now, if you're the Angels, or is there any world where you just do Ohtani for Soto straight up and you're like, we'll just trade one headache for another?
Why would Soto resign with that team? I think
that's interesting.
Yeah, it would be. But neither can pitch. They can't look at
it just doesn't make any sense. But what kind of package would you even get back for Ohtani? I just feel like it would be untenable. That's the reason I wouldn't trade Ohtani, because I feel like there's nothing I could get back that would equal a value of a guy that could be a Cy Young winner. Yeah, so it's like
the only way you're going to get close to a worthwhile package is to trade him now, where they'd get a season and a half of Ohtani. There's no way you're going to get a player back like Ohtani, but maybe you can get several good players back. Maybe that's one thing they need to do. They need to start putting good players around that team.
Yeah, and I think I'm getting more than just blue. Like, I need dudes who have actually seen on the major league level flash all-star stuff. Like, if I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm like, if I'm going to like the Mariners or something, like I'm asking for Julio and a top prospect or something. Like, I'm asking for someone who maybe not Julio level guy, but at least someone who I've already seen on the major league level be pretty good. Maybe like a nasty Nestor Cortez and some other pieces as well. Like, I need something tangible that I know can work on the major league level and not just a bunch of swings. And trying to take home runs out there.
Well, you work on the major league level, Miller. Why don't you tell people where they can follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at CreatorThomas24 for my personal account, or look up Locked On Diamondbacks on both Twitter and Instagram. Of course, on all podcasting platforms and on YouTube at Locked On Diamondbacks.
You can find us at Sully Baseball on Twitter, Sully Baseball Podcast, and Instagram. That's my personal stuff. And that's where you can send the complaints to. And you can also contact us at Locked On MLB Pods on both Twitter and on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Some of you are watching me on YouTube right now. All right, man. This is my first one back. I think it went all right, even though we're doing it on my phone. Getting through my little COVID haze with my buddy Miller Thomas. This has been Locked On MLB, Locked On Diamondbacks crossover. Easy for you to say. I'm your host, Paul Francis Sullivan. Call me Sully. That's Miller Thomas. Hey, wait. This is a social distance fist pump right there.